Good evening, everyone. So the introduction about our topic is accounting concept, principle, and assumption are essential for misunderstanding the financial performances of businesses. These concepts serve as the foundation for preparing financial statements to avoid misunderstanding and improve clarity, according to Valex et al. 2013. So, ang accounting concept, principle, and assumption is importante siya kay mao ni siya ang gagay kung unsaon pag-record or pag-report sa financial information. So, murag act ni siya nga atong ginasunod para ang financial statement mahimong klaro, patas, o pare-pareho ang pamaagi. So, by following these guidelines, malikayan nato ang mga kalibog and masaligan ang information nga makita sa owners, investors. As Valex et al. 2013 explained, this serves as foundation of accounting so that the financial performance of a business is presented accurately and without misunderstanding.
Mabuhay o madayaw. My name is Divine Grace Abay, and today we're going to talk about accrual accounting. What is accrual accounting? Accrual accounting happens when you record expenses or sale when they happen, not only when the money gets paid or received. For example, if you sell something today but you get paid later, you will still record it for today. This shows a more clearer and more accurate of your business money at the right time. Since the opposite of accrual accounting is the cash basis of accounting, is where when you only write things down when the money actually moves. So which means the money is moving from different person to another.
Mabuhay ug madayaw, sir. I am Liza Jean Ortiz and I will be explaining the matching principles. So these principles ensures that expenses are recognized in the same period as the revenues they help generate. Basically, this means that when a business earns the money, the related expenses should be recorded in the same time period. So just for example, let's say a car salesman sells a car in June. He gets a commission for that. And then even if the company pays him in July, the commission expense should be still recorded in June, because that's when the sales happen. So the idea is to match the income and the expenses in the same time to make the report more accurate.
And today we're going to talk about use of judgment and estimates. Accounting estimates happens when you don't know the precise measurement of things. So you make a smart guess on what you do know. Second, precise items. Precise items like cash, bills to pay are much more easier to count because they have exact amount or exact numbers to use. Third, estimates needed. Estimates needed for certain costs that aren't clear yet, like fixing products under warranty. You have to guess because the real cost will only happen later after the fixing. Fourth, warranty expenses. This is money when you expect to spend on fixing things that break after selling them. And you figure this out by looking what happened in the past. So, titingnan natin kung ano yung nangyari, kung paano ito nasira o ganon. 5. Misuse risk. Misuse risk. Some might try to guess high cost purpose on to reduce their profit and to pay less tax because this is wrong and not allowed. But this is wrong and not allowed. So, huwag niyong gagawin yan, ha? Judgment. You should be responsible and to avoid subjective financial statement.
Mabuhay ug madayot sa everyone. Now let's tackle the use of judgment and estimates. Accounting estimate is approximate figure used in financial statement when precise measurement is impossible. So ang accounting statement is this is approximate figures used in financial statement when exact numbers cannot be measured. Kaya for example, warranty expenses. So we don't know the exact future cost. So atong gamiton nato is we estimate based on the past data. Now we have a precise measurement. Items like cash, property, plants, equipment, or PPE and accounting payable can be measured exactly, and they don't require estimates. So some of the items don't need require estimate. For example, cash, property, plants, equipment. So dili na siya ni estimate kay nahibalan naman nato ang ihang may exact number. Well, now we have the estimate needed. Some items cannot be precisely measured, necessitating the use of accounting statement. So, why the estimate is needed? Because some of financial items cannot be measured with a certainly at the time of reporting. And also, the companies must still provide a reasonable figure to give user of financial statement a clear picture. So, kailangan yun siya kay para ang company is kasyo ba ka ng basta mo na to. Then, we have the warranty expenses. An example of an item required an estimate based on the historical data to align with the matching principles. So, nag-require siya that expenses are recorded in the same period as the same related revenues. For example, if a company sells product with the warranties, the warranty expense must be recorded in the same time, the period at sale, even if the prepared cost happen later. So, need yun daw siya so nag-record yun siya og na expenses record and need siya og historical data tong past data kay para ang company nimo is must be recorded as the same period. Now we have the potential need. No, Jesus. So company might overestimate expenses to reduce net income and taxes, which is not permissible. So ang company could manipulate estimate over system expenses to lower net income and taxes. So this is not allowed because it mislead user of the financial statement. Napay nabilin. Na. The last one is the judgment of estimate should be based on reasonable grounds to avoid subjective and potentially misleading financial statement. Ay, mo na to ganaday. Ang kanina ay kay dili siya nag-allowed o because it mislead user statement. And kanipod kay management must base estimate on reasonable ground supported by data logic. And kanipod siya, need siya kay para avoid ang bias, subjectively, and misleading information. So, that's all po. Thank you.
Mabuhay ug madayaw everyone. So let's tackle about prudence. Prudence or conservatism is an accounting principle that prevents overstating income and assets while avoiding the understatement of liabilities and expenses. So ang prudence is known as conservatism. So it is important to the accounting principle is because nag-ensure siya og financial statements. Og naghatag siya accurate and reliable. Also, it emphasizes the need to avoid overstating income and assets. So, isa ka principle sa accounting nga gina-encourage na maging maingat sa pag-report sa financial. So, prudence also is the ability to make careful and wise decisions by thinking about the possible consequences before acting. Before acting, it means being cautious and avoid unnecessary risks.
Good evening, everyone. My topic is about prudence or conservatism principle. So, prudence and conservatism principle prevents overstating income assets, avoid understanding liabilities and expenses. In case of uncertainty, records losses do not recognize gains until they are certain. So, ang prudence or ang conservatism principle in accounting guide us how we record financial transaction when there is uncertainty. So, ang main goal sa prudence and conservatism principle is to prevent a business from overstating its incomes or assets or understating its liabilities and expenses. So, Balix et al. 2013 on conservatism principle. In case of doubt, record any loss and do not record any gain. Expense. If unsure about recognizing an expense, it should be recorded. Income. If unsure about recognizing income, it should not be recorded. So, according to this principle, if naay doubt, need na to mamili og safer option. For example, losses or expenses or kaya mga nagastos, it should be recorded right away even if dili pa sure. Another example, gains or income or kaya kita, e-record dayon kung sure na gyud siya. So mauna siya kay Balid et al. 2013. Balix et al. 2013 support by saying this: in case of doubt, record any loss and do not record any gains. This means nga, kung dili pa ta sure kung i-record ba nato ang mga nagastos, i-record ya po nato siya. Pero, kung dili pa ta sure sa nagastos, dili sa nato siya i-record. Pasabot ani ka nang, pag ang gastos, kung dili pa ta sure sa nagastos, i-record ya po nato siya. Pero pag ang kita, dili ta sure, dili sa nato siya i-record. Nana lang siya. So, this principle ensure that the financial statement are not misleading and that users such as investors, creditors, and managers get a cautious and realistic picture of the company's financial health.
Substance over form. So these principles ensures financial statements provides a faithful representation of a company's financial conditions and performance. This happens by focusing on the underlying economic substance of transactions even when it differs from their legal form. It means accountants must look beyond legal documentation to understand the true nature of transaction and its impact on a company's final position.
Mabuhay ug madaya once again, and this is my topic, going concern assumption. Assume a business will continue operating infinitely and will not need to liquidate assets soon. If there is doubt about the company's future, record the payment as an expenses immediately. Ang going concern assumption means we assume a business will continue operating. And this is important because it affects how we record asset and expenses. For example, if a company pay in advance for something like rent or bills, we spread the cost over since the business will keep operating. But if there is doubt about the company's future, like if it may close soon, then we record the payment as an expenses right away.
Accounting entity assumption. First is principle. A business is separate from its owners, managers, and employees, regardless of the business structure. So, the principle states that a business operates independently from its owners, managers, and employees. This means that regardless of the type of businesses, whether it's a sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. So, in my own understanding, ang principle daw is, it states here na ang operasyon daw og mga desisyon sa negosyo sa business is dili direkta nga nakaagad sa mga individual na empleyado. So kaning tolo, sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation, honestly kanya-kanya nga responsibility sa business. So itaka na to karon. So there are 3 types of businesses, which is sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship is the simplest type of businesses owned and run by just one person. So the keyword there is single owner, which means isa ra ka person ang mag-handle. So ang sole proprietorship daw is isa ra ka tawo ang mag-handle sa business, which is ang keyword diri is single owner. So ang partnership is a type of businesses owned and managed by 2 or more people. The keyword there is 2 or more owners, means it shows that the businesses is shared and managed by 2 or more people working together. So understandable na po kini partnership kay of course dili naman isa or duha imong makapartner sa business, daghan kayo. So daghan pa og mga tao dito. Ang kato sila is napod sila kanya-kanyang responsibilities. So ang keyword diya sa partnership, take note, is 2 or more owners. Means it shows that the business is shared and managed by 2 or more people working together. So corporation is a type of businesses that is legally separate from the people who own it. The keyword corporation is separate legal. The keyword of corporation is separate legal entity. So it means that businesses is independent from its owners and has its own rights and responsibilities. So ang corporation daw para sa kuha is separate siya sa mga legally separate siya sa tag-iya sa business. Pero na po siya rights and responsibilities sa ilang business. So that's the 3 types of business: sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporations under of principle. So separate records. Each business owned by a person maintains its own accounting records. Assets and liabilities should not be mixed between businesses. So ang separate records daw is, so every business isa ka tao dapat i-maintain niya ang accounting records. O sa mga assets o liability daw kay dili angay i-mix sa ubang record sa ubang business. Of course magka-confuse na, magkalibog-libog na ang financial ana. So dapat dili siya i-mix. So the third one, personal transactions. Personal transactions of owners such as vehicle repairs of personal assets, acquisitions should not impact the business financial statements. So it is important to keep personal transactions separate from business transactions. For instance, if a business owner pays for personal vehicle repairs, vehicle repairs, that expense should not be recorded in business financial statements. Why? It's because if personal na expenses mamix sa business expenses, is it can confuse the financial situation of the businesses. Of course bawal jud ni siya kanipod kay bawal i-mix ang business expenses o ang personal expenses, kay kung ma-mix ni siya kay magkalibog na, magka-confuse na ang nag-handle sa financial ani. So which is dili gyud siya dapat i-mix. So the last one is purpose. Ensures fair presentation of financial statements by preventing personal transactions from affecting the business financial results. So the main goal of the accounting entity assumption under sa purpose is to ensure that financial statements present a fair and accurate picture of the business financial health. So in dapat nga ilang i-present nila na fair o accurate or accurate picture sa business financial health. So, in summary of accounting entity assumption, is it helps us to maintain the integrity of financial reporting by clearly distinguishing between personal and businesses finance. That's all.
Time period assumption. So this principle says nga ang business life is continuous pero for reporting purposes. Ginadivide siya into specific time periods like months, quarters, or years. For example, 9 calendar year which is January 1 until December 1. Napoy fiscal year nga any 12-month period like June to July. Depende sa negosyo. So, ang point ani kay para ma-check ang performance sa business regularly. Dili ta magulat nga mahuman ang tanan operations bago nato i-check ang performance sa ato ang business. So, in short, time period assumption divide the business life into months or years so we can track performance. Simple as that.
So good evening everyone. I am reporting about generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP. So first, what is the benefits of the GAAP? First is the external users. External users, mao ni sila ang mga investors, mga analysts, mga bank. Mao ni sila ang naga-monitor sa company's performance. For example, sa bank, nagapaloan di ba sila sa mga businesses na mga starting pa or gipit. So ang bank ilang gina-check ang performance sa company if kaya ba nila bayaran ang loan na ilang nabayaran. So sa investors ina-check nila if worth it ba mag-invest sa company sa in the long run or sa ilang performance. Next is management. So mao ni sila ang mga CEO, mga leader sa company na naga-monitor sa strength and weaknesses sa company nila as well as performance. Sila po na nagahimo sa financial reporting para makita nila if naka-gain sila profit or palubog na ilang business. Next is adaptation. So ang GAAP guys, nagasabay po sila sa dagan sa panahon, like for example sa panahon na to karon puros technology. So ang ginabuhat sa GAAP, nagasabay po sila sa technological era nato para po maka-discover sila mga bag-o mga bago na way sa transaction para dili na maglisod ang both sides sa pag-pay, sa pag-receive silang goods para mas mapadali. So as well as sa ilang products, murag ilang gina-innovate or na sila ginabag or mag-adapt sila sa para makapangita sila mga bagong target market or mapalit sila mga product as well po sila mga assets nila.
Mabuhay ug madayot sa everyone. Now let's tackle the IFRS, or in complete terms, International Financial Reporting Standards. So IFRS are the rules for making financial reports clear and comparable across the different country. So in my own understanding, ang IFRS daw is mao ni siya ang naga make og rules para same og method ang when preparing financial statement, and naga-guides po sila sa preparation of reports like balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow. And naga-ensure po sila sa transparency and consistency. So sa financial information is clear, comparable, and reliable. Now, so in simple terms, ang IFRS is naga-make sure that the financial report is accurate, clear, and easy to compare internationally. Now, we have the history of the IFRS. So the IASB, or in the complete term, International Accounting Standard Board, now set these rules replacing the old group, the International Accounting Standard Committee, IASC. So the International Accounting Standard Board is now the body that set international accounting rules before the IASB. That was done, and there was another group called the, ano nga yan? There's another core group, which is the IESC, the International Accounting Standard Committee, which created earlier rules known as IES, or mo na siya ang International Accounting Standards. And in the Philippines, the country follows IFRS as well as the older IES rules, while USA used GAAP, or generally accepted accounting principles. So ang Philippines daw kay ang gi-follow nilang na is the IFRS, while the other country like USA, ilang ginagamit nila kay ilang own like GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. And reason for using IFRS is nag-support siya sa Philippines business. And second, need for a common reporting language for global business. Para common daw siya sa global. And the next one is the better and simple international standards.
Mabuhay og madayaw. And I am Lance Bido, and this is my topic, Philippine Financial Reporting Standard. Philippine Reporting Standard are the rules used for preparing financial reports in the Philippines. They are set by the Philippine Financial Reporting Standard Council. There are three parts of Philippine Reporting Standard. First, Philippine Reporting Standard. This match with international rules called IFRS, or International Financial Reporting Standard. And second is Philippine Accounting Standard, or PAS. This match with older international rules called IAS, or International Accounting Standard. And last is interpretation. These are explanation or clarification of the rules based on international guidance. And